like price, and that is txt price dot value, and another is shipped to, and here it is lst cities dot value. We are accessing the value. Now we have another way of accessing the data and use the data. Another way of accessing and using the data. Now here I am designing the name Samsung TV. You can see at both locations it is coming. The price and the shipped to is working everywhere. One, we are accessing through complete form reference. Through a form reference, we can access. Actually, that is used to submit all the controls at a time. If you want to individually deal with these controls, then you have to just do this here. That means generally when we use this form, we generally use this form value in order to send all the details to the controller. There we can collect and handle them. That means finally I need to submit the form. Generally, finally, if I have to submit the form, collecting all the details individually like this and sending them is risky. Then through one form object, you can send all the details. That means when user clicks this submit button, when user clicks the submit button, I need to send all the details. Then usually, already I told you event binding. Form have a submit event. Form have a submit event. On submit event, I need to call a function. So let's go to the TypeScript file. And here in the TypeScript file, we have to call the function. Here I don't need any much logic here. So that means I just need only one point here. I just need to create one method. So public, so submit click. On submit click, we need to collect an object. That object contains all the form data. How we can send that object? So on submit, we have to call submit click. Into that, we have to pass simply FRM register here, FRM register dot value. That means it will send all controls details into it. That means this object, now this object contains a key value collection. And you know how we can print the key value collection temporarily. Just I am keeping an alert. And through that alert, we are accessing the data. Or temporarily, what I will do is here, I will create public form data. And form data is an object. I will simply collect this dot form data is equal to obj. That means that data is collected here. Obj contains key and value collection. Key and value collection. Now I want to print that form data. Whatever data is collected, I want to print the form data. Then in the output somewhere here, in order to print that form data, I'm using a simple div with a pre-tag. And here I will collect form data. So form data, and here I will configure JSON pipe for that. That means we are accessing that form data, and we are printing in a JSON format, form data and a JSON format. So that is the basic approach here. So I'm entering here some name. So I'm entering some name, Samsung TV, and some price, and some shipped to. and I clicked that submit button, you can see the data will come here. And you can observe that the data contains an object with a key value collection. That means the control names and their values. I'm just collecting in a JSON form. So in the controller, we need to just collect the data. We need to just collect the data and we need to submit the data. That means rest of all the interactions are managed at the view level only. Only the point is finally you finished everything. Now you need to send it to the server side. Then we have to collect the form and send it. Just for that, what we have done on submit, we called a method and we passed an object which contains all the data. We are collecting that object and sending to some server side technologies. Here we write the logic of communicating with the APIs, sending this object into that API, which will insert into the database or like that complete flow you are going to see after understanding all these forms concept. Earlier, if you have observed two-way binding technique, we need to create a property for name, text box, and list box inside our TypeScript. We need to bind it in the view by using ng model. Again, we need to collect them and use them in our logic. That's a lengthy process, how we have done that. But now, very less, or you can simply say that, so you are having nothing related to form logic configuration inside your TypeScript. Everything is designed and configured at the UI level. Even you can handle the lot of manipulations at UI level only. So that means any expression, values, evaluations, everything you can manage at this level only. Suppose I entered quantity into price, directly you can manage them here. That means, for example, suppose I'm configuring a form group. So I'm configuring a form group. And here I defined as a quantity. And here I say txtqty and name as txtqty quantity. So, and input type I just defined as number, and min is equal to 1. So max is equal to some 4 like this. So this is a number, that is quantity, txtqty, that is the quantity. Now I need to just print the total amount here. That means in the details, I want to print the total amount here. So wherever in details, I want to print the total amount, data total, I want to print it. Then I can directly define here FRM register dot value dot txt price into FRM register dot value dot txt qty. We the expression directly here. We can manipulate them here. That means here I'm and here I'm configuring directly here. So this is txt price into txt quantity. So dot value into quantity dot value. Directly we are configuring this. Now, so total, so we need to print in that location. So these details we are configuring and everywhere we are defining them. So then here I will see